All right, guys, coming off our afternoon watch list that we just streamed on social media, Facebook and YouTube here. I wanted to keep the stream going just for today, just to accommodate all of our members of our trading room that haven't been able to get in. Again, we're going to fix that issue, and that's not going to be the case for tomorrow going forward, guys. So kind of a one-time shot here. But JMIA, it's pushing up pretty nicely right now. Ended up squeezing up shortly after we finished up the afternoon meeting, moving up towards the high right now, 580. Big level we were looking at just together as a team. So look to see if it can crack back over 580, and I mean pretty much the highs around this area. For the big volume spikes, we saw it get filled on AYTU. It's still taking its sweet time here, I guess, but you got to figure. I mean, I really hope this isn't some sort of pump and dump type move. I mean, given a 12-cent move up, it's not really too big to be a pump and dump. But, you would really want to make sure that this thing could break higher going into the close, especially given what we just saw get filled. I'm going to go back to one stock right now, a stock that didn't make the watch list, but AMRX. I want to see this one. Looks like it was squeezing back up towards an order on the S that was at 460. Not really doing too much right now. Blue Apron, APRN, stock that's not on our list right now, but we were looking at resistance off of 835. Yeah, Prakash, right now, AMRX I just looked at quickly. AMRS is the one on our watch list, actually. That one, though, since if you could see the volume on this trade, it's pulled back quite a bit. So it doesn't seem, I mean, it is at the point of where it had most recently broke out from. So you're hoping that that could be support, but if it's not going to break any higher and show signs of volume getting filled off the ask, it's either going to stall out or just shake down more. So be careful on a trade like this, kind of catching the falling knife, so to say, off the highs. Typically around 3:30, guys, as we all know in our trading room here, we tend to see some more volume get filled, and we'll tend to see some more stocks make some sharper moves heading into the final 30 minutes of the day. JMIA is beginning to go the other way a bit for right now. Again, another stock you can see the volume just wane off completely after that breakout. All right, let's look at a couple of faster ones right now. The MGNX. Okay, looks like it's building more support, or it has off of or over 2550. It's around 26 as we speak. It'd be interesting to see that squeeze up higher, perhaps. Penn National Gaming looks like that was trying to build a Fausto flag and break above 1970, 1975, but before potentially doing that, pulling back the other way. Keeping a good eye on I&O, guys, still. I mean, it's before their earnings, so you might see it just kind of hesitate. I put it on the list just in case, especially given the move that it's made on the way up so far this afternoon. But, you had a major resistance off of 12 get filled just a moment ago, so And, look to see if this could potentially retest that 12 level before the end of the day. Well, looks like AYTU might be trying to get a second run back up. 167 here, at least again. One that made a pop actually about 10 minutes ago. We'll look to see if it can make a new one as well. ANY, ANY made a big pop from 175 up to 215, has pulled back since down to 2. It's got a big spread, definitely a little bit different compared to this AYTU trade. But ANY ended up making a recent pop. Looks like that Mark trade still is pulling back, so that one definitely we're done with for the afternoon. Speaking of pulling back, a stock that is also on our watch list still at this point, guys. We made it, or it made it on the list, I should say, BCRX. BCRX worth watching its support off of 550. Looks like the JMIA trade from earlier, moving back up to 580 right now. All right, here we go. JMIA back over 580. This might be the move that we are looking for. Let's see what happens. Order book's a little bit thin. So just make sure that we have some support coming in off the bid right now. You have some prints filled off the ask, but not much on the bid there, holding it up above 580. See, a trade like this just needs like a kick in the pants right now. It's 3:30 Eastern time, so this is the magic last half hour of the day that we have here. So we're looking for a big move up. Otherwise, I mean, we got to give it a little bit, but I'd say it's not going to be worth holding overnight. If you're trading this 1,000 shares, maybe you shave off 80% of this if you're looking to swing it overnight into the next day. But I certainly would not turn this into an overnight on a full size position. We've seen that song song and dance play out a little too often. Getting a couple of alerts right now on this one stock, GGAL, new high. That's slow. Argentinian stock. I know Ben follows. Pretty trend, I'll tell you that much. I'm just cycling through a few of these that were on the screen earlier, guys. It seems like kind of a slow afternoon thus far, which is fine. It happens for a Monday, but I want to make sure that we try and go through everything and not miss out on a big move. Penn still dropping off. Penn worth watching at 19. Support. Not really a big order on the bid sitting there, but based on the volume that was traded and filled there from earlier, looking at that as a big volume-based level. $19.03, in fact. There we go. Fausto himself chiming in the chat board here. NVAX testing the high right off 24. All right, guys, we found our move at least for now. Yep. That's the one I was just looking at before I started cycling through. But yeah, both are looking nice. Hear from Mario here in the chat board. Mario, nice to have you here. Says ABEO approaching high of the day, up 20% also. A little slow, but it's right where you want to have it, Mario. Right near hold into the close territory, perhaps. 330 order on the ask, 338. JMIA getting a little bit closer towards that high now. Having a real tough time. Also, guys, just because Fausto mentioned NVAX, I brought this up earlier. If we're watching NVAX, keep a good eye also, guys, the INO trade, another Corona-related stock. INO worth watching at 12, kind of a similar type move to NVAX. NVAX is a little bit more volatile, so perhaps will give us a bigger pop here. All right, you guys can see the big iceberg order there at 24 on the matrix, about 34. Oh, now 62,000 shares. Look at that. Thing doubled up in size in a half second at 24 bucks. And as we are following this again, don't forget JMIA. What does that? JMIA looks like it's about to blast off right now. Finally, at least. I mean, one way or another, this thing's building a beautiful Fausto flag for right now, under 585. I'll tell you what, I just closed out a trade on JMIA. I took a 3-cent loss. I was in from 580 earlier, and I just closed out at 577 off the bid. I don't like the way this thing's shaking down. If it breaks higher, perhaps I'll jump right back in, but this thing is shaking around a little too much for my liking. And I said that earlier, and I jumped back in, and here we are now, and it's still doing the same damn thing. Looks like Cliff calling out SDC here in the chat board. Very good call, at least on the way up to major resistance at 9. 2 big iceberg orders there at 8.99, also at $9. Yeah, Cliff, SDC is looking pretty strong here right now. Foot seems to be on the gas pedal up to those 2 big iceberg orders, 3 if you're including 901. I was gonna say it's kind of taken its sweet time filling 8.99, but it just broke through a chunk of that order right there on the tape. Here we go, up to 9. See, Grant just called out INO over 12. That you could see on the ticker symbol on the top of my platform. I wanted to switch right over, Grant. I just saw SDC testing 9. INO, though, you're right. Broke over 12, guys. Second break over 12 here right now. This looks like a really good opportunity. Let's see. It has to hold over 12. SDC filled over 9. It's pushing up to 902 right now. NVAX is still holding under 24 at least. $12 was a huge level before, guys. As I was doing the afternoon meeting, we ended up seeing all of those big yellow, big green prints. There were more yellow than green even, which is pretty rare to see, but all filled at 12, so you know it's a money level. Grant, right now SDC Smile Direct Club at 904, currently 903. So that's kind of stalling a little bit right now too. Oh, guys, one stock, if NVAX is moving and if I&O is moving, well, it makes you think, well, what about CODX? And CODX, another Corona stock that we tend to trade, is building right up to 17. Look at that. Up over 9%, building, underneath a major resistance still, kind of similar to the others. I like the CODX trade too. Looks like JMIA also. I'm flipping around like a DJ right here, guys. JMIA is just about close to the highs. Yep, look at that. Big order on the ask now at 584. Since I jumped out of the JMIA trade right there, it took a 3-cent loss. It's back up. I mean, it's dancing over 580 still, guys. It's like right there at 583. Told you if it breaks higher, good chance I'm going to jump right back in. Man, this thing's taking a sweet time here at the highs, huh? This JMIA, I don't want to move away from it because the payoff could very well be bountiful. Even NVAX, NVAX, I mean, it's holding under 24. There's just about 15 minutes left before they post their new earnings report. So I'm sure that you're getting some sell up. And as I say that, NVAX just broke out over 24. See, I was going to use a little reverse psychology talk here, but I guess it ended up breaking out pretty quickly afterwards anyway. Looks like MGNX is making around the bottom still. It's pushing up to 27. I'll tell you, I picked the wrong stock. I ended up jumping into the I&O trade, and I jumped out just before another break-even trade. But man, this thing's pushing up pretty nicely right now. Looks like the SDC trade unfortunately pulled back underneath 9. Looks like it's hanging underneath there right now, so that run seems to be done. CODX is getting closer to 17 here. Looks like CODX is about to move along with NVAX. Here's one I was waiting on earlier in the day for, guys. Blue Apron, APRN, broke above resistance at 835. The only issue I have on this trade is that the order book is a little thin. So it's not a level 1 stock, I'd say. But this APRN, we've seen the stock make a big move in the past, and it finally just cracked above resistance 835. JMIA wants to pop so bad right now. You can just see it. It's been building up this whole time up towards 585. And Vax is running, guys. This thing is doing really well right now. JMIA just broke new high of the day for the JMIA trade, finally. All right, let's see if the payoff's going to be worth it or not. You can see the prints filled at 85 at least there. It's been dancing around up and down this whole afternoon, so to see it kind of shake under 85 is no surprise. But we got to get this thing pushing really quick. on the way back up. Looks like Jerry picked up, is it 10 cents, Jerry? The way this thing came back down under 585, not a good sign. Man, slow afternoon. It's expected for a Monday to a degree, and you still got this NVAX running. You got CODX still strong. I'm currently long on CODX right now from 17. Oh, yeah, and SDC from Cliff. That's right. Cliff O just posted in the chat board here in the trading room, SDC. So that was his call out. And yeah, that one honestly is the best looking one so far. NVAX too, but hard to deny SDC. I don't want to jinx my CODX here, but pushing up off 17 pretty nicely. It's having a tough time with 1710, this CODX, the last minute or two. I was just checking on a couple others that we looked at earlier. That AYTU, if anyone was interested in seeing what happened to that, said there was a chance it would move back up towards the highs. It only moved up to 168 and just kind of stalled out from there. So perhaps there's a bigger move coming up later on this week, tomorrow or Wednesday, perhaps. We traded the stock over the last month and a half. So definitely going to keep a good eye on it, at least for tomorrow. Just a lot of volume getting filled after 3 o'clock on this trade. Let's head back over to NVAX, NVAX. Well, it had a nice 50-cent pop from Fausto's call at 24. So that definitely we can't complain with. A nice 50-cent winner. You would always look for a little bit more. But again, NVAX coming out with earnings right after the bell here, guys. So there's going to be a lot more activity on this trade here in the post-market. With NVAX pulling back a bit down here, maybe I just close out my CODX in from 1702 on that trade. There's an iceberg at 17 on the bid. All right, let's check in on a couple others, guys, that we were looking at earlier going into the close. MGNX, crazy volatile one that we were looking at earlier, then just closed out $1.30. He was in from 26, so we were looking for a hopeful rounded bottom on that trade, and it pushed up pretty nicely. Cliff, big winner today. He just closed out SDC. He picked up a 32-cent gain. He was in from when he was first looking at it. He posted right away at 8.90, so he milked that out for all it was worth. Very nice catch, Cliff, the chat board here. Then Jose M says scalped 4 cents out of SDC before it took a downturn. So ended up closing out with a profit there, Jose. You know, there's a line that I always like to say. You might be late to the party, but you're still able to get a good piece of the pie. Big difference between chasing a stock recklessly and, you know, maybe if you miss the first leg up, if there's reason to get in, go for it. And, you know, maybe just be more quick to take the profit. So that was a nice catch there, Jose. CODX is at 17.10. Finally, this thing looks like it's about to move up higher for me. Oh my goodness. Kind of slow afternoon, and JMIA, where that thing was teasing us up and down. Even at 17.10, this thing's having a tough time. This may move up, though. I mean, if you get a really strong earnings beat on like NVAX and INO together, I'm sure CODX in sympathy can move up with them. They don't move up, or they don't directly trade with one another, you know, perfectly every minute of the day, but off of news, off of sharper, you know, moves up and down. Perhaps some of these stocks can move in relation to the others. Got a minute left. That's pretty much it. Mario saying ABEO broke high of the day. It did. It squeaked above it there, Mario. Got it by a penny. It's a nice call, though, because, you know, it's not the move we're looking for here today, but it's definitely a big move to look for, or a potential big move to look for tomorrow. That's ABEO. All right, I'm just closing out CODX right here, 1707. It's a nickel. I'll take it, I guess. It pays for lunch. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you, just for all of us here live in the trading room, you know, hey, kind of a slow afternoon here today, but, you know, to a degree, we do expect it. Not every day is going to be filled with, you know, runners up and down across from market open to market close. So for any of the stocks that didn't move the way that we would hope for them to move, guys, there's a reason for that. So if you were following the right things in terms of volume getting filled from level 3, in terms of, you know, seeing a stock trend up and down nicely, like we were looking at here on CODX or NVAX or even JMIA, which was a bit of a dud going into the afternoon, don't be surprised if these stocks make even sharper moves from these price levels, perhaps tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, then perhaps Wednesday or rest of the week. All right, guys. But again, for all of us here in the trading room, I'm going to keep the screen up and running. We're going to go through a couple of earnings after hours. Just I'll be cycling through them here in the live trading room. And again, just for social media here today, this was kind of a one-shot deal where we were doing this just because our trading room crashed earlier this morning. A lot of our students and members had a tough time getting in. So, you know, that issue has since been fixed. We've sent out emails, like I'd mentioned earlier, just throughout this afternoon, going into the rest of this evening, and of course for tomorrow morning, just to make sure all of our trial members, all of our monthly members, and all of our students here alike are all logged in correctly for tomorrow morning. All right, guys. But hey, for anyone else tuning in across social media that would like to learn more about Cyber Trading University and what we offer here, where's my banner? There we go. Make sure that you call the number down on the banner below, 87770 cyber, if you have any questions or are interested in anything that we offer here at CTU. All right, for all of our students here, again, we look forward to seeing you guys back here tomorrow morning. And again, we'll keep the trading room up and running just to cycle through these post-market earnings. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.